Commander Rian stood alone inside the silent control room, a Vega listening post. The screens around him flickered with strange signals, patterns he had never seen in his entire career. At first, he thought it was a system error, but the readings continued, growing sharper every minute. He leaned forward, studying the waveforms. They matched something he remembered only from old training books, ancient warnings, long dismissed as myths. Stories about a forgotten empire that once moved through the stars like a storm. Everyone in modern times laughed at those stories, calling them bedtime tales for young cadets. But tonight, those same patterns were appearing again. Rian sent the data to Central Command, but the officers there laughed too. They told him his station was old, his sensors outdated, and he was simply overreacting. Rian didn't argue, but he felt a small fear growing in his chest. Then a new transmission arrived, broken, full of static. It came from a human scout ship near the dark edge of space. The pilot's voice was weak, shaking, almost whispering. They are real, the pilot said. The myths, they are coming back. Before Rian could ask anything, the transmission cut out. Moments later, the station's long-range sensors detected something massive moving behind a distant nebula. It was not a ship they recognized. It was too big, too old, and too quiet, like a shadow of something ancient waking up. Rian sent another urgent warning, but again, Command ignored him. Outside the station window, stars flickered strangely, as if something invisible passed through them. Rian whispered to himself, "Why won't they listen?" The final sensor alert appeared in bright red. Unidentified colossal object, approaching fast. And the shadow kept coming. The next morning, a small human patrol fleet arrived near the dead star system, where the last transmission came from. Captain Lyra, known for her calm mind even in danger, commanded the lead ship Horizon. Her crew expected to find debris or maybe a broken transmitter. Instead, the moment they dropped out of warp, the entire bridge fell silent. Before them floated a graveyard. Dozens of alien ships drifted without power. Hulls were torn open like paper, metal twisted and melted by impossible force. Some ships were unfamiliar, designs older than any known species. Others looked like they belonged to races long considered extinct. Lyra felt her stomach tighten. Who could destroy all of this, she whispered. As they moved deeper into the field, sensors picked up a faint life signal. A small damaged vessel drifted alone. Lyra ordered an immediate rescue. Inside the crippled craft, they found 3 alien survivors, thin, injured, terrified. Their eyes were wide with fear as they grabbed Lyra's arm. "It woke up," one of them said in a trembling voice. "The legend, the one we all ignored." Lyra tried to calm them. "What legend?" The alien pointed toward the nebula. "The Empire, the old stars. The ones your ancestors warned about." He swallowed hard. "We didn't believe it. We laughed, but it came back." A sudden alarm cut through the rescue ship. The horizon sensor showed something massive moving inside the nebula, slow, deliberate, and unimaginably large. The shape was still unclear, as if wrapped in darkness itself. Lyra's heartbeat quickened. "Is that—" The alien survivor nodded, tears forming. "It hunts everything, and now it hunts you." The giant shadow inside the nebula changed direction. It was coming straight for the humans. The human patrol ships moved back slowly, keeping a safe distance from the nebula. Every sensor was locked on the massive object inside the swirling clouds. But the more they scanned it, the less sense it made. "It's not a ship," one officer whispered. "It's a fortress." The shape finally emerged, an enormous warship, ancient and terrifying. Its dark hull was covered with glowing runes, shifting like living metal. The runes pulsed with a strange blue-gold light, as if the ship itself was breathing. Captain Lyra felt a chill run through her. She had seen countless alien designs, but nothing looked like this. It felt wrong. Too old, too powerful. Her communication officer received a signal. One word, repeated again and again: surrender. Lyra tried sending peaceful messages. "We are not your enemy. Identify yourself." The reply was instant and cold. "Your warnings were ignored. Your myths were denied. Your fate is already written. On the horizon's bridge, silence fell. The alien survivors began trembling violently. One covered his face with his hands. "It's them," he said. "The Empire, the old stars. They destroyed entire galaxies with those runes. They don't conquer, they erase." Suddenly, the ancient ship charged a massive energy cannon. Light filled the nebula, bright as a rising sun. Lyra realized it was pointed directly at her fleet. "Prepare for evasive maneuvers," she shouted. But then a new message came from Earth. The screen flashed with a single order. "Reinforcements dispatched. Stand by." The crew looked confused. Reinforcements? It would take hours for a fleet to arrive. But then the stars rippled, space itself twisted, and a single, enormous human warship dropped out of warp behind them. The enemy stopped charging its weapon. And for the first time, the ancient empire hesitated. The new human warship drifted into position like a silent giant. Its black hull reflected the nebula's blue glow, sharp and precise, built with design no one had ever seen before. The name on its side glowed in white letters. HSS Vanguard. Captain Lyra stared in shock. The Vanguard was not part of any public fleet. It was whispered about in old military stories, rumored to be a prototype created for a threat humanity hoped would never return. And now, that threat had arrived. Rian's voice came through the comms from Vega Post. "Lyra, that ship shouldn't exist. It was built for legends." On the enemy side, the ancient warship dimmed its runes. It seemed to recognize something. For a moment, the nebula went silent. Even the alien survivors watched with fear and confusion. The Vanguard opened a channel, and a calm human voice spoke. "This is Admiral Kira Holt. Stand down. You are violating secured human space." The enemy responded with mockery. "You dare oppose us? You are children of dust." The ancient ship fired a warning blast, bright, violent, shaking every hull in the area. But the Vanguard didn't move. Its shields absorbed the energy like waves hitting stone. Lyra's crew gasped. How is that possible?" Someone whispered. The Vanguard finally activated its systems. Its hull symbols glowed, lines, circles, patterns similar to the ancient runes on the enemy warship, but sharper and brighter, as if humanity had copied something long forgotten. Admiral Holt gave a simple order. "Prepare for full engagement." Turrets unfolded. Energy wings appeared along the ship's sides. Power surged through the core, lighting the darkness with white gold fire. The ancient enemy paused. For the first time, it realized humanity did not come with fear. Humanity came prepared. "Say, continue part 5, and I'll write the next 300 words." You said, "Continue next part more unique and same 300 words?" ChatGPT said, "Here is part 5. Exactly 300 words, unique, simple English cinematic, and full HFY energy. White medium star part 5. When legend become real, 300 words." The nebula shook as both warships faced each other. One ancient, one human, both carrying the weight of forgotten history. Captain Lyra watched from the horizon, unable to speak. She felt the moment tightening like a rope around her chest. The ancient enemy ship moved first. Its runes flared bright red, forming patterns older than any known civilization. The energy around it twisted space itself, pulling light into a spiraling vortex. Everyone believed the Vanguard would fall under the first real strike. But then the Vanguard answered. Its hull symbols lit up with a warm, golden glow. Not artificial, not mechanical, something deeper, as if the ship carried an old power humanity never fully understood. Admiral Holt whispered, almost to herself. So the legends were true. The Vanguard unleashed a pulse of shimmering energy. It didn't look like a weapon. It looked like a memory coming alive. Light stretching in wide arcs, forming ancient human markings in the air. The alien survivors cried out, shocked. "That's impossible," one said. "Your kind cannot use that power." But humans could. The pulse struck the enemy's ship with a thunderous flash. For the first time, the ancient warship staggered. Its runes flickered in confusion, almost fear. Lyra realized something unbelievable. "The legends, they weren't about them," she said softly. "They were about us." The enemy tried to counterattack, firing a beam of raw destructive force. Vanguard cut through it like a blade through smoke. Its main weapon, hidden until now, unfolded from the lower hull, massive, glowing, shaped like an ancient human spear. Admiral Holt gave her final command. Fire! The spear of light shot forward, piercing the ancient warship straight through its core. The blast echoed across the system like a star dying. The myths had been real, and humanity had just awakened them. The ancient enemy warship shuddered, its glowing runes dimming, as the Vanguard strike tore through its core. Pieces of metal and energy cascaded into the void like a dying star, collapsing. The human patrol fleet watched in awe, unable to move at first, frozen by the scale of what they had just witnessed. Captain Lyra wiped sweat from her brow. It's over," she whispered, but the tremor in her voice betrayed her doubt. Then a new threat emerged. Another colossal warship, even larger than the first, slipped silently from the nebula. Its presence made the stars tremble. The galaxy's ancient predators had not yet fully awakened, but they were coming. Admiral Holt knew what had to be done. The Vanguard, already damaged from the first strike, powered its remaining systems to maximum. Its golden symbols glowed brighter than the sun, illuminating every edge of the bridge with hope and fear. "Prepare for final engagement," Holt commanded. "This is humanity's moment." The patrol fleet formed around the Vanguard, ready to defend. The enemy fired its massive cannons, and a vacuum of space was torn apart with destructive energy. But the Vanguard shields held, bending light around it, shimmering with a brilliance that seemed almost alive. Then, with precise timing, the Vanguard released a wave of concentrated energy, part weapon, part human ingenuity, part sheer courage. The second ancient ship staggered, its systems failing under the human assault. Within moments, it broke apart, drifting into silence. The bridge erupted in cheers, but Holt remained calm. Her eyes scanned the horizon. Humanity had survived. Humanity had triumphed. The myths were true, and the legends of the warship were now real. Lyra smiled at the crew. They laughed at the warnings, but now they know why humans survive. Far across the galaxy, other civilizations began to take notice. Humanity was no longer a myth. It was a rising force, clever, brave, and unstoppable. The Vanguard floated among the stars, a silent guardian of humanity's future.